but we are not included in this tornado warning. This is the eastern side of our county. So again, Highway 29, we go from County Road J, County Road Q, County Road Y, and basically right up to Highway 45, which for all intents and purposes basically are very close to the line there in Shawano County. I know it's technically not there, but it's close enough for this to talk about it in that term. So Anawa down to Burnham Wood, all the way to Hatley, Ringgold area. So County Road J, very, very close to, again, the Amazon. You got the Arby's there as well. And east of there, all the way to the Marathon County line out towards Ringgold, Hatley. You got the Taco John's there right along Highway 29. And you also have, I'm trying to think what other places out there that you may be familiar with that area to make sure that you take shelter. But this is County Road N here. It's basically the top of your screen in this red area, right? See how there's red and greens? There's really dark reds and really dark greens. That's what's producing, again, that spin in the atmosphere. That's what's producing, again, that spin, and why the National Weather Service out of Green Bay did issue that tornado warning, because it is radar indicated. So again, it's moving off to the east at 30 miles per hour, and I'm going to give you a storm track from the strongest part of the storm, and we're going to assume that's going to continue to move east at 30 miles per hour. So again, that gets us into the Norrie area, I believe, in Burnhamwood area at 4:38. Heading out towards Barlamine, I believe that's pronounced. If not, I'm sorry, but that's at 5:11. And then the Shipley area, that's at 4:51 this evening. So again, that will continue to move off to the east. Shawano County, not under the tornado warning yet. I know I had some cities here that are in Shawano County, but again, even in Shawano County, it would be a great idea to make sure that, again, you get away from windows and just kind of prepare just in case you do have to take cover. But right now, the strongest part of this storm is just to the east of Ringgold, just barely east of Ringgold, moving off to the east at 30 miles per hour. So again, let's stress Marathon City, Town of Wausau, Mosinee, we are not included under that tornado warning. Areas that are included in that tornado warning, basically north of Highway 153, Ringgold, eastern side of the county. So I'll step out of the way so you can see some of those cities. And I'll loop this to show you. And you might have noticed that last radar scan. That is a good sign. We'll see if that continues. Starting to get a little more disorganized, which is great, but we still have to take all those proper precautions if you're on the eastern side of Marathon County. And I also, too, want to read the latest information here from the National Weather Service to see if anything has evolved or not. Right now at 4:19, so about 3 minutes ago, the lowest radar scans are not showing much rotation, so that is good. However, there are still some rotations just higher up in the atmosphere. So again, something that we'll continue to watch here. If we could take the Wausau sky cam real quick, the 400 block sky cam. I want to show what's happening here in the Wausau area as well. And here in Wausau, we will be dealing with heavy, heavy rain. I want to get everyone prepared for that as well. But again, we're also kind of covering two things. Here's tornado warning. That's going to continue until 4:45. But notice the polygon right now, how it got smaller. So areas that are outside the polygon, still dealing with heavy rain, that's going to be the Wausau city limits, and also will be areas to our east. So Wausau still heavy, heavy rain, but it's Ringgold to Burnham Wood in the eastern part of Marathon County. So we're going to stay on air till this tornado warning is either expired or they drop it. So other areas, again, Weston not under the tornado warning. City limits of Wausau not under the tornado warning. What's are under the tornado warning would be Ringgold and also off to the east towards portions. Basically, this tornado warning ends at the Marathon County, Shawano County line. Very close to that, if not basically right on the county line. So if you're in Burnham Wood, Wittenberg, these areas along Highway 29, you need to be prepared at least for heavy rain right now, and don't be prepared if you don't have to get in your safe place. But Ringgold, you should be in your safe place. There should be no traveling right now along Highway 29. If you're not dealing, again, with that tornado warning, you're dealing with torrential rain. You're dealing with rainfall rates, probably 1 to 3 inches of rain per hour. That likely cause ponding of roads. So again, let's walk you through this again one more time, a few more times. About 15 minutes ago, the National Weather Service in Green Bay did issue a tornado warning for a Doppler radar indicated storm. I have pointed to right now the strongest part of this storm. It's off to the northeast of Ringgold. So basically County Road N as you extend to the eastern parts of the county. So when County Road N and Camp Phillips meet, you want to go about east another 10-15 miles or so. That's where that tornado warning is. But again, Weston is not under the tornado warning. Wausau is not under the tornado warning, but we are dealing though with heavy rain here in the Wausau area that will continue. But right now, we want to focus here on this tornado warning until 4:45 this evening for this Doppler radar indicated storm. This is Highway 45, which is very close to, if not right along the Marathon County, Shawano County line. This is Wittenberg at the bottom of your screen. So this is mainly Highway 29 to north to County Road N to the far eastern side of our county. So basically right along Highway 45 to the east. So Burnham Wood, again, it's still being your safe place. Town of Anawa, again, your safe place as well. And I say a lot, but I always like to repeat it. What is your safe place? If you have a bathroom, interior room of your house, if you don't have a basement. If you do have a basement, basement's always the #1 place, always has been and always will be. Try to get away from windows if you can. Why do I recommend bathroom? Well, typically bathrooms, interior room of your house for the most part, but also too, there's typically like a bathtub, places like that, a sturdier structure than say like an open living room where you could have a lot of windows around versus say a smaller room like your bathroom. So again, those are the places that you need to go. And you see these reds here, the reds and the really dark purples in the eastern side of the county, that's likely dealing with torrential rainfall. Could even be more than 1 to 3 inches of rain per hour. So again, ponding on roads, county roads. If you typically are familiar with these areas and you see like in the spring, you're just like, oh, there's a lot of water on this road potentially. You could see a lot of water again along those same roads as well. Poor drainage areas, culvert pipes could get plugged and stuff like that. So just giving you that kind of heads up if you do have travel plans later this evening as the chance for heavy rain will continue. So again, we'll do a few more storm tracks, give you a few more in terms of how fast the storm is moving. And the storm, again, is moving at 30 miles per hour. So let's kind of talk about Mosinee, Stratford, Marshfield, Wausau. That is all heavy rain right now. None of those storms are considered severe, but they are strong. But the strongest storm right now, which did prompt the severe thunderstorm warning, again, tornado warning, that's just off to the north of Hatley. And see how we're not seeing as many reds and greens? That it's a good sign, but we still cannot, say that we can't let our guard down, so to speak. I'm going to circle the area right here. So this is Highway 29. That's the area that I circled. There was the most rotation. So if there were to be the tornado on the ground, if there were to be, again, this is not confirmed, but if there were to be the strongest part of this storm, it's in the Hatley area, County Road Y, and to the east of County Road Y, heading out towards Burnham Wood. And I'll do a storm track on that as it moves off to the east at 30 miles per hour. So again, all this is Doppler radar indicated. I'm going to continue to get more information here from the National Weather Service. It may not go into Shawano County with this tornado warning, but we'll see. We have to continue to watch this. They're now watching for a cell merger for a line of storms here in the Wausau area. So again, all this is being watched here. We'll continue to watch it and continue to stay on air. So Burnham Wood, 441. Azor at 452. So if this storm track continues here along the eastern side of Marathon County. So also too, I believe that we do have the tornado warning, I think, was allowed to be dropped, but I want to make sure on that. I want to make sure just in case that tornado warning has been dropped. I believe it has, but I just want to make sure. Nope, it's still there. Okay, just want to make sure on that because I'm still getting new information from the National Weather Service. Also, too, Train Storm Spotter and the Rothschild area did report against some rotating scud clouds. So basically, there's a very low clouds that sometimes rotate, sometimes not. But right now, they are reporting that it's not rotating at this hour. So we'll continue to watch that here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Radar right now, Jeff, you have something to add there too, real quick?
My mic, yeah, yep. Thank you guys back behind the scenes. Just a couple questions for you as I sit and listen to your very good coverage here. 30 miles per hour, is that considered slow, fast, normal for a storm movement?
That is considered slow. So that also would increase our chance, Jeff, for heavy rain because it's moving slow.
Okay, and then the second question I have as I watch your coverage here is the National Weather Service issued it until what, 4:45?
Correct, about
based
another 15
on what
minutes.
they saw on the radar.
Yep.
Now, as you have been pointing out, it seems to be not quite as intense as when they first issued it. Will the National Weather Service keep that tornado warning up till 4:45 even if it falls completely apart, to be safe? Or will they cancel it if they see nothing else to support their warning anymore?
If they cannot see anything else to support their warning, they will cancel it. They will. They'll give you the heads up that it's canceled. And see there, Jeff, see there to the east there of Burnhamwood, see how that yellow box showed up?
Yeah.
That is the severe thunderstorm warning box, not a tornado box. So again, that's good news, at least as it moves east. But again, they're still going to continue that tornado warning until 4:45 this evening. Okay. So again, Jeff, those are great questions. Again, with that, great questions.
One other question for you there. I've watched a lot of radars as you've covered a lot of storms over the years. Those edges seem very crisp.
Yes.
At the start of this storm. Is that kind of unusual, or is that?
That is primarily wind. And Jeff, that's another great thing to point out as well. I'm so glad you brought that up too. That is great. Yes. Okay. I can explain that, and I can give you the science behind that. So again, the strongest part of this wind won't be when it's really raining. It's going to be in the leading edge of it. And why is that? It goes from green to yellow to red. See how quickly that goes from green to yellow to red? Almost seems like 4 miles or so, 5 miles. That basically what that does is that moves that. Oh, see this, guys? This happened on live TV. They dropped the tornado warning and right now issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Langley County, Marathon County, Menominee County, and Shawano County until 5:15 this evening. So again, in terms of the tornadic threat, that has come down quite a bit as they allowed that tornado warning to expire early because the data, the science wasn't there to continue that. Instead, they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the counties I just mentioned until 5:15 this evening. So, Jeff, great for asking that. You basically saw it right on live TV, basically, why they did that.
So the National Weather Service essentially answered my question that I had for you.
Yeah, basically. They basically did that, and because the data, the science was not there, they said, okay, we're going to change things up, the science. And you have another question then, Jeff?
The other thing I find very fascinating is, you said it before in your coverage, their radars have gotten so good that if they see raindrops spinning around a certain area, that's when they go ahead and issue the tornado warning. Doppler radar indicated.
Yes, that's exactly what they do. Basically, I can explain this. Basically, the Doppler effect. That's basically what it's doing. And what is the Doppler effect? Have you watched NASCAR before when they hear the sounds of the cars, right? That's the Doppler effect, basically, in a very basic way. That's what it's doing. Frequencies. Which way are the raindrops moving, right? That's basically what the Doppler radar is picking up on. That's very easy way to explain it, but it's true. That's what they're showing. That's what they're picking up. That's what they're going through. So, again, a great way to explain that today and why the National Weather Service in Green Bay issued that tornado warning and why they changed it to a severe thunderstorm warning because they were not seeing that rotation. But again, we're going to transition kind of our coverage that we did have the severe thunderstorm warning or the tornado warning, which is now severe thunderstorm warning. But I want to also stress heavy rain right now. That's going to continue. So we're going to have that heavy rain threat right now, and we're going to continue here for the next couple of minutes. This is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15. Right now we're coming up on a few minutes after 4:30, so 4:31 to be exact. So again, the tornadic threat is starting to decrease. But again, what's going to increase, though, here for the next probably hour or two, at least in the Wausau area, is the heavy rain threat. So again, we kind of transitioned. We talked about it, how, excuse me, how we could see the rain chances and then move over to more of that heavy rain threat. And this is the radar loop over the last hour. So as this storm continues to move to the east, heavy rain, Marshfield area right now, soon to be in the Stevens Point area in about an hour. See this here? See this down towards Winona, down towards the cross? What is that? It's called a gust front. So what's going on? Basically how to explain this? Basically, a cold air, won't be that cold, but basically a push of some colder air from the thunderstorm, a push from it moving off to the south and east. They could also experience some wind around 45 to 50 miles per hour. So again, we'll go back to local programming here in just a second, but I just want to keep everyone up to date here with what's going on. I believe we have Investigates TV, correct? Is that what's on right now? I just want to make sure before we toss it to that, that we have Investigates TV here on News Channel 7. So we'll continue to watch this. We'll continue to cut in if need be. But right now, back to local programming. And Jeff, I want to let everyone know this First Alert Weather Day, we just got a tornado warning for Outagamie and Wapaka County until 5:45 this evening. It just issued 1 minute ago. So again, at 5:14, a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located 14 miles west of Clintonville or 18 miles north at Wapaka, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So again, one of those Doppler radar indicated storms right now, and we're going to continue with this. So again, this is for Allegheny County and Wapaka County, but right now we're going to zoom in on the Wapaka County area. So again, you got Iola there at your screen, very close to the severe in terms of the tornado polygon. But again, right now it's mainly northern portions of that county, and I want to give you a storm track right now. This will be around Clintonville at 5:30 and the town of Embarrass around 5:35 this evening. So those two towns there that I just mentioned, you need to get to your safe place. This is Doppler radar indicated, and this storm is moving east at 45 miles per hour. So we're going to stay with this storm right now. So again, Clintonville around that 5:40 time frame. As you work your way towards Bondwell at 6:11, if it continues, the DuPont area around 5:28, Buckbee around 5:36, Clintonville 5:42, and Barris 5:47. This continues to hold up. So if you have travel plans right now and you're in the Wausau area and you're going eastbound along Highway 29, you want to give it at least probably another half an hour to 45 minutes, especially if you're east, the far eastern portions of the county, if not even longer, maybe an hour before these storms move out of that area. So again, this is a tornado warning for northern Wapaka County. Again, that goes until 5:45 this evening. This is Highway 29, what you're looking at here. This is Highway 22. So kind of right in the middle there, that's where that tornado warning is. So again, Doppler radar indicated. We'll continue to stay with this as well for the portions of, again, this is northern Wapaka County. This does not include the city limits of Iola or Amherst or the Little Wolf area. But again, this is the storm that we'll continue to watch here, which is why we'll stay on the air with this, because it is a tornado warning. And right now, Doppler radar indicated. So what we always do with this, we want to see where that velocity is, and in terms of where some of that, and right now, the closer it gets to Green Bay's radar, the better that you will be able to see this picture, but I can walk you through where this is. So this is Highway 45 that you see, not Highway 45 heading towards Antigo. This is Highway 45 along Highway 29 there, out towards, I believe that's the Wilderness gas station out there, I believe, if I'm correct on that. That's on the south side of Highway 29, that portion of Highway 45 in south. So this tornado warning does not include Highway 45 in Marathon County. Okay, I want to stress that. Does not include portions of, it doesn't include, in fact, any of the Marathon County area. This is mainly for Wapaka County and also Allegheny County. But right now we're focused mainly on Wapaka County. So we'll zoom in a little bit closer again on this Doppler radar indicated storm. So out towards, we got Highway 45, we got Highway 110. This is off to the east of Clintonville. So again, west of Clintonville, excuse me. So if you're in the city limits of Clintonville, you need to get in your safe place. What would be in your safe place in Clintonville or anywhere close if you're in the Clintonville area? Again, basement, lowest levels right now of your house. If you don't have a basement, your bathroom, places like that, as this storm will continue to move off to the east at around 45 miles per hour. The strongest part of this storm was located 14 miles west of Clintonville or 18 miles north of Wapaka, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Again, this is Doppler radar indicated. The city limits of Clintonville around 5:30 and Embarrass around 5:35. Other locations, Deer Creek Wildlife Area, Big Falls, Adams Beach, and the Buckbee area. You might be able to see Buckbee on this map. If you can't, familiar with that area, the Buckbee area as well as under that tornado warning. So again, we'll do another storm track here with this whole line, which is a rather large line here in portions of northern Wapaka County, and that's moving off to the east at around 35 miles per hour. In fact, I think it's technically 40 miles per hour. So anyway, Clintonville area, again, you're talking around 5:30, 5:45-ish, so just figure around 5:30. The DuPont area around 5:31, and then Buckbee at 5:42 right now with the strongest part of the storm. So I want to walk everyone through this as well in terms of, and there's another warning as well. And for Shawano County, I want to cover both those warnings as well. So the warning for Shawano County, and we'll kind of zoom in here on Shawano County. This is the eastern part of Shawano County. This is includes Menominee, Oconto, and Shawano. So Highway 47 north of Shawano. So the Shawano limits will not be included. You see Lake Shawano there. Highway 22, Cecil, Bondwell. Right now you're under severe thunderstorm warning, but that tornado warning for that Doppler radar indicated tornado, that also includes the area towards the Kenesha area. That's the second area of rotation as well. So I want to walk everyone through these two tornado warnings that we have: Menominee, Oconto, and Shawano. That's far northern Shawano, far southern Menominee. You see Highway 55 there towards Legend Lake. Those are the areas right now. Again, both of these Doppler radar indicated storms are in fact that Doppler radar indicated. I'll get off that circle area for you, and I'll put on the reflectivity to show you what we are looking at here. So there's a couple areas, a lot of lightning with this, but with that velocity, that's where you can really tell exactly where some of this rotation could be. So right along Highway 45, not the 45, well, technically does run into Antigo, but again, this is when you hear Highway 45, you may think of that area. But this is Highway 45 east of Highway 29 and then south. So kind of right around this area here, the town of Huntington, right along this line of between the severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning for this polygon. So it's not a traditional polygon in terms of it doesn't look like one. It's more of a square box. That's because the severe thunderstorm, in this case, the potential for a tornado is moving straight east. So it's not moving more northeasterly. It's moving more easterly at this point. So city limits of Clintonville, told this before, and will continue to stress, you need to be in your safe place just in case the storm does have the capability of producing a tornado. Just trying to read up on here some of the latest from the National Weather Service. But again, the tornado warning was issued at 5:16, so that was about 8 minutes ago or so, roughly. We're coming up on 5:22. Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly on this first alert weather day. We talked at length yesterday and even today about these storms, how they could become severe. And right now they are becoming severe, especially east of the Wausau area. So if you live in Wausau, Stevens Point right now, or even Mosinee, we have heavy rain. Merrill, Tomahawk, Rhinelander, and the Northwoods. This is all just heavy rain. Some moderate to heavy rain. Nothing severe with any of these storms north of Merrill, Rhinelander, Tomahawk, Minocqua. That's all some light to moderate rain. But right now we're concerned about and we'll focus on this Allegheny storm in Waupaca. This is mainly, again, Waupaca County. The Allegheny County area, you see that far northwestern tip there, just off to the south and east of the Clintonville area. So, for example, Highway 110, Highway 45, which basically runs you into Clintonville. If you have travel plans, say, from the Wausau area and east, heading along Highway 29, you definitely want to give it probably another half an hour to 45 minutes at least. If you're traveling west on Highway 29, heading out towards Colby, Stanley, the Eau Claire area, you're fine. That's just some light rain. Should be absolutely no issue at all. So again, towards Clintonville, you need to be in your safe place. We mentioned a lot. What is your safe place? Well, basically, your safe place is anywhere away from a window. And here is some of the new information on new times. So again, Clintonville around 5:30, Embarrass around 5:42. Bondwell around 6:01 if it continues to hold together, and out towards Pulaski if it continues to hold together. That's just off to the west of Green Bay until 6:14. So again, the storm, basically what's going to happen is, because you see the greens to yellow to red really quickly. So what does that mean? That means the strongest part of this storm will not be where, yes, it's raining, but it's going to be probably in the first 5 to 10 minutes of rain. So it'll be a few sprinkles, then a wind gust, and then some heavy rain. After about 20 minutes or so, half an hour of the rain becomes more moderate. It will not be as windy, but the strongest wind, those wind gusts around 50 to 60 miles per hour, will be in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the storm. But in this case, again, that Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. Clintonville, the city limits of Clintonville, 538. Get in your basement right now. Again, this is Doppler radar indicated. I'm sure because we have good daylight hours right now, there's storm spotters on this, waiting to get word, again, if they're picking up on any rotation or any funnel clouds. But why we we come on air is, again, because of its Doppler radar indicator, which means they're picking up on that spin right now from the National Weather Service in Green Bay. So Clintonville around 5:38, Highway 45. This is Highway 29, just basically behind this banner. When you take Highway 45 south there from the Wilderness gas station on the south side of Highway 29, we're going to continue that area south. Once you get into Waupaca County, that's where this tornado warning is in effect. So for Shawano County and west, that's mainly some heavy rain. There's also a very small tornado warning. I'll zoom in on that as well. That's for Menominee County and far northern Shawano County. And right now, the National Weather Service out of Green Bay may have canceled that for Shawano County. Yes, correct. So right now, it's basically for Menominee and Oconto County. That goes until 5:45. Both of them go until 5:45 this evening. So again, that's the strongest part of this storm, and that goes until 5:45. And it always try to give you the latest information here from the National Weather Service in Green Bay. So the National Weather Service did cancel the tornado warning for eastern central Shawano County. That was canceled about 3 minutes ago, so that is a good sign. And it looks like the Bear Creek area, that's well out of our viewing area, looks like they could reissue that. But again, for our area and for close to north central Wisconsin, it's for mainly northern portions of Waupaca County. So again, Clintonville and Barris, those towns that I just mentioned, you can see here on your screen. Those are the areas that you need to be in your safe place right now because, again, of these strong to potentially, in this case, severe thunderstorms. So that means the wind gusts may be around 60 miles per hour. We talked about this earlier. If you're watching the coverage, and this is a great example of that, it goes, say, Clintonville. We'll use that for an example. Town of Embarrass here. You got Highway 45 and you got Highway 22. But you see here it goes, see this green to yellow to red, and this is only a distance, probably about 4 or 5 miles. That's where there'll be the strongest wind. The strongest wind will likely be in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the storm. Once you get maybe in 20 minutes to a half an hour, then you have basically the rain. That'll be in the western portions of Shawano County and also into the far eastern portions of Marathon County. But again, for Waupaca County and the eastern part of that county, that's where that spin up is. That's what we'll continue to talk about it. So the town of DuPont, the town of Clintonville, and Barris, right along 156, you all need to be in your safe places for this tornado warning, which would be basement, lowest level of your room, lowest level of your house, bathroom if you don't have a basement, you know, that would be your best place as well. So right along, again, those areas in the eastern side that you're still under that tornado warning until 5:45. We're coming up here on a little after almost 5:30, and we're going to continue this coverage as well. Right now it's 5:28 to be exact. Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly here on this first alert weather day, again with this line of storms today that came through. Basically started around 2 o'clock. And then we'll continue to move off to the south and east. So I want to give everyone here that's watching, that's maybe wondering how it's going to be in Stevens Point, how it's going to be in Wisconsin Rapids. This is all right now some heavy rain. Right now not producing, again, any terms of storms. In terms of what we're seeing, though, in northern portions of Waupaca County and far northwestern portions of Outagamie County. So Outagamie County, Waupaca County, that goes until 5:45 this evening. In both areas, again, both these, this one area here, the rotation is looking rather impressive. I'll kind of show you where that rotation is. Right, again, city of DuPont. I'm almost positive I'm pronouncing that correctly. And if I'm not, I apologize. But that's off to the west of the Clintonville area. That is where that rotation is. And this rotation, again, if it continues to hold together, it's going to move off to the east. So I circled that area. And right now, that would be moving off to the east towards Clintonville at around 40 miles per hour. So Clintonville, you have another 5 minutes or so before the strongest part of the storm is here. And right now, you see that they're going to continue to with the tornado warning. That's why you saw it there flashing on your screen. This goes until 5:45 on your Wednesday evening. But again, just want to stress for those areas that are in eastern portions of Waupaca County and then also into far northwestern portions of Outagamie County. That's where the strongest part, again, of the storm is. So, again, I'll do not only a radar loop, but I also want to do a storm track because the latest information from the National Weather Service, I'm going to read this all to you right now. At 5:28, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 10 miles west of Clintonville are 17 miles southwest of Shawano, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So again, it could be near, if not in Clintonville and Embarrass, around 5:35 this evening. So I'll do a storm track here as it moves off to the east. And so again, these times are approximate, so it's not exact. So again, still need to take those precautions. In Clintonville, you're looking at around 5:30 or so if it continues to hold together. The Lehman area around 5:56. If it continues to hold together, Pulaski, that's east of Green Bay or west of Green Bay, that's around 6:21. And the Hobart area around 6:30, again, if it continues to hold together. But right now, this is northern Waupaca County and far northwestern portions of Outagamie County. So this is Highway 45. This is Highway 29. If you're familiar with Highway 29, where you go into the Shawano area or east of Shawano out towards Bondwell, I believe that's 47. That'd be south on Highway 47 and then west of there. This area that we have this small polygon. So it's not a large polygon, but it's small. But it also includes the city limits of Clintonville and also includes the city limits of Embarrass. And that strong part of the storm will be here around 5:30 to 5:35 this evening. Again, it's a little after 5:30 now. It's 5:31 to be exact. So we'll continue to stay on air here for the next 15 minutes or so, or when the National Weather Service, if they drop any of the tornado warnings. And right now there is no sign of that. So again, this will remain into effect for 5:45 for northeastern Waupaca in northwestern Outagamie County. You're currently in that polygon. Towards Shawano area, you probably see that flashing yellow. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, and I want to get you the latest on that as well as you're watching this live coverage here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Menominee, Oconto, and Shawano that goes until 5:45. They could have wind gusts around 60 miles per hour there. But again, the Clintonville area, this is the strongest part of this storm. So north of Bear Creek, Clintonville city limits. I continue to talk about the city limits of Clintonville. Right now, that's where you're seeing that rotation. Embarrass as well. Hopefully that you're in your safe place. And why do we say that? Why do we continue to say that? Well, people all go off and on. I mean, they come in for the coverage when it's in their area. It may not be in your area right now, but again, maybe in a couple weeks it may be potentially. So that's why we continue to repeat ourselves sometime, because you may be in that area. Maybe you just got home and you notice about the warning. You turn on the TV, turn on News Channel 7, and you get some of this information where you may not have heard that maybe 5 or 6 minutes ago because you just tuned in. So that's why a lot of times that we repeat ourselves so you get that latest up-to-date information. So Clintonville, Highway 45 area, Highway 45 and south. This is Highway 22. And when you hear Highway 45, I know a lot of people may be thinking that far western, eastern portions of Marathon County, western portions of Shawano County. That's Highway 45, yes, but that's not the part of Highway 45. This is Highway 45 in Outagamie County, and also gets, Waupaca County, excuse me, gets very close to Outagamie, but I don't technically think it goes into Outagamie. If it does, it's not much. But point being is, this is for northern portions of Waupaca County, for Clintonville, and the Mattinson area, excuse me. That's right there along Highway 156. That's in far northwestern portions, again, of the county. So looking at the latest for here, the tornado warning for southeastern Menominee County, that's for southeastern Menominee County, that was canceled. So again, southeastern Menominee County, that was canceled. And right now there is no tornado warning in Menominee County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning has now moved into Oconto County, mainly into far southern portions of Menominee, or excuse me, of Oconto County. But the tornado warning for Menominee County was allowed to expire early. They canceled that early, which is a good sign. So Clintonville right now, this is the strongest part of the storm for about the next 5 to 10 minutes. That will continue to move off to the east, and we'll stay on air here for the next 10 minutes, at least here. That gets us till 5:45 this evening. If you did happen to miss some of the news, you can get that complete list of news at WSAW.com. Do want to pass that along as well if you missed some of our News Channel 7 at 5 coverage. But we did cut in for this tornado warning because the National Weather Service said that there was a Doppler radar indicated. So that's why we'll continue to stay on air to give you this coverage of this tornado warning. So we'll stay on until either it has moved out of Waupaca County or until the National Weather Service drops the warning. So again, that goes until 5:45 this evening. Right now it is 5:35. So Clintonville, this is in Barris area. So right along Highway 45 that goes into northern portions of Waupaca County. You got Buckbee, Clintonville, the DuPont area. Right now, heavy rain. Could even see some hail as well. Not seeing many hail reports. Again, the atmosphere, again, could still produce some hail, but I'm not seeing many reports of it as of now. So again, if you have hail, please stay inside your house. But again, point being is, I'm not getting any hail reports. Doesn't mean there hasn't been some. I just haven't been seeing them yet from the National Weather Service in the area. So if you are traveling, though, Highway 29, let's say you're traveling westbound, heading towards Colby, heading towards Stanley, you can continue on with your day. That's just some light to moderate rain, but again, please be aware if you do have any lightning, when thunder roars, go indoors. I did put on the lightning detection software. Now, if you're on the eastern side of our viewing area, Highway I-39, Highway 151 and east, heading towards Green Bay, I would definitely give it at least another hour before leaving the Wausau area before heading to Green Bay. Now, if you're in Stevens Point and say you're heading south this evening down towards Madison, I'd give it at least another half an hour or so, if not a little bit longer, because this line right now is moving really, really slow. There's two parts to this line, right? The first part is what you see up towards Outagamie and Waupaca County that we talked about, that we'll continue to talk about, but also this line here. See how this is kind of moving southeast and this is moving east. Why is that? Well, basically, it's just a frontal boundary. There's not really any colder air behind it, but it's just a frontal boundary that's using these higher dew points in the mid-70s today, right? Basically, that's what it's picking up on, and it'll continue to move. See that little gust front right there? That will continue to move off to the east for the next hour or so. But as these storms, basically, if you're Highway 29 and north, they're moving east. If they're Highway 29 and south, they're moving south-southeast. So Waupaca, Necedah, even Wisconsin Dells. And we're also watching out towards Winona. You see this last hour loop? See how these storms are starting to trend a little north? Some of the forecast models actually show that moving back into the Wausau area around 9, 10 o'clock tonight. Again, we'll see if that continues. But again, right as of now, we're still waiting to see how that develops. So right now, we'll get back to that tornado warning that we talked about. We came on air about 30 seconds after this tornado warning was issued by the National Weather Service in Green Bay. So Outagamie County and Waupaca County. Right now, we'll focus primarily right now on Waupaca County, because that's the northern portions and the city limits of Clintonville. Now, if you happen to be in Outagamie County and far northwestern portions of that county, that would be the town of Lehman along Highway 187. But right now, it's Clintonville. The next 20 minutes to a half an hour, that will be the worst part of that storm here if you're in the city limits of Clintonville. If you're in the far western portions of the county, you're likely still, and you still are under that tornado warning, so still stay sheltered if you're in far western portions of Waupaca County. But again, right now you're likely dealing with heavy rain, maybe some wind, and maybe some hail along Highway 110. But again, the strongest part of this storm is in the Clintonville area, and that will continue here at least for the next up until 5:45. So we'll stay on air again for the next 7 minutes. Right now it is 5:38, almost 5:39. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly. The tornado warning for southeastern Menominee County, that was canceled. So again, that is good news for Menominee County. That's just dealing with heavy rain. The Shawano County area, if you're for Shawano County, Menominee, Oconto, and Shawano, that goes until Wednesday at 5:45 as well. With the strongest part of that storm, that's mainly in the eastern side of Shawano County. So Highway 22 and south of Shawano, heading out towards Bondwell, Cecil, the Pulsifer area, if you're familiar with those small communities there along Highway 22, right there along, I believe that's the Oconto River, right along the Oconto River. So Clintonville, again, you're still under that tornado warning until 5:45 for the next 6 minutes. Trying to get some latest information here from the National Weather Service in the Green Bay area, just to see if they cancel the tornado warning yet or if they're going to extend the tornado warning. Right now, they did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Shawano County, Oconto County, Waupaca, Marinette, Menominee, and Outagamie. Some of that is out of our viewing area, but Menominee is not. Shawano is not. That goes until 5:45. 5:45 this evening as well. So again, just wanted to pass that information along here. But Allegheny County and Waupaca County still under that tornado warning until 5:45. So we'll do another storm tracker too. We're coming up on 5:40. So if the strongest part of this storm that's just to the north of Clintonville, if it continues to move east at around 40 miles per hour, that gets you to Pulaski around 6:37. If you're familiar with the Matson area, I believe how that's pronounced, almost positive, that's at 5:49 this evening, and you can see the other towns listed there at a few minutes after 6 o'clock. So right now, though, Clintonville, we'll continue to talk about Clintonville and that chance again for that tornado warning that was issued about 20 minutes ago. We got another 5 minutes and haven't seen any reports yet in there, but it looks like the National Weather Service out of Green Bay expired their tornado warning for central Oconto County. That will expire at 5:45. That's kind of the eastern side, far eastern side of the Badger State. So again, we'll stay on here for the next 5 minutes and walk you through here this tornado warning for northern Waupaca County, but also show you this line of storms as well. So areas that you can continue on with your day. Basically, you know, if you do have those plans, again, still be prepared for lightning, still be prepared for some moderate rain. That'll be Minocqua, Rhinelander, Eagle River, Phillips area, basically anywhere north and west of Anigo. That's just some light to moderate rain. So again, just be prepared for that. But again, the strongest part of these storms that's producing the most storms, the heavy rain and the lightning, that's mainly along and south of Highway 10. And I'll give you a storm loop here, or a storm track, so you continue to see how these storms are moving off to the east, southeast. So again, part of these storms are moving east, and then another part of this line is moving to the southeast. See how they're becoming more isolated right now? Why is that? Starting to lose some of their upper level support. And what is that? Basically, the atmosphere aloft is not as unstable as it once was. So these storms become a little bit more not aligned anymore. You're starting to see some breaks here in the line. But again, the strongest part of these storms, mainly from Highway 10 to Highway 29, and then the eastern side of the Badger State, which would include Allegheny and also Waupaca until 5:45 this evening. So again, we'll continue to watch all this here for the next about 5 minutes or so, or about 3 minutes, and see what the National Weather Service is going to do for this severe thunderstorm warning, which was now tornado warning for Allegheny County and Waupaca County. If you're in far eastern portions of Waupaca County, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Iola area, that's some really heavy rain. Amherst as well, really heavy rain. Waupaca will be some really heavy rain in about the next probably 5 to 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less than that. But again, Allegheny County and Waupaca County, that goes for the next about 3 minutes. We'll see what the National Weather Service is going to decide here. I think they will probably let the eastern part of the county that may remain, but the western part of the county, they will likely, the tornado warning for Allegheny, that will expire at 5:45 this evening. So again, that's a good sign. That basically means that the storm could start to decrease its intensity, and that would be for Waupaca County and northeastern Allegheny County. So I'm Chief Meteorologist Mark Holly. They will allow that tornado warning to expire, and right now we'll go back to your evening programming.